Today I'm going to show you about how to use Tableau, and I'm going to start by using the FBI website to find a table or database to bring into Excel. Go to their UCR data tool, table building tool, all states, state by state, and the first table I'm going to do is the U.S. total state, number of violent crimes, and I'm going to get the table, and see it comes through pretty nice. They got a decent amount of information all the way back to 1960 and all the way up to 2010. Now you can get this information to Excel in one of two ways from this website. You can either do the old swipe and drop into Excel, or they also have a one-click Alright, we downloaded it this time. And there it is. I downloaded everything. As you can see, some of the numbers a little smushed. You can clean it up however you want so you can see everything well. Wrap text. And you've got your table of information in Excel. Now, first thing that I did, the next thing I wanted to do was compare the U.S. totals to Florida totals. So, back here, click the same thing, same violent crime, get the table. Now you have the same information except for just the state of Florida. Now, at this point what I did was, rather than click on the spreadsheet again, I just dragged all this information and dropped it on the other Excel spreadsheet. A little bit messier, but got the same result. Now, I don't need any of this information here. I don't want those there, so I'll just clean that up. Unmerge the cells. Helps to have a decent understanding of Excel to start messing around with this, but it's not too bad. Alright, there you have your information. Now, remember, all this is for the state of Florida, and all this is for the United States. So rather than have a header up here saying these are all for U.S. and these are all for Florida, I think it was easiest for me just to go and insert U.S. in front of each of these, and that way when you bring them into your Tableau, doesn't matter where it is, it's going to show up where you want it. And for these, we're going to do Florida. Okay. Now, next thing you'll notice is we have years in there twice. Unnecessary because they're all lined up. 2010, 2010, 1960, 1960, so we're just going to delete this cell. And clean up these. And we'll just make the formatting all consistent with those. Times New Roman, 12 point, no bold, and there you go. There's your information. Stuff too. Alright, now you just have raw data with headers explaining what they are, and go ahead and save this as my desktop as Crime had to save it in the most recent form of Excel. It didn't like the format that it was in. So, back to work. I'm going to go open Tableau Public, open data, we're using Excel, crime state by state, and we're using only a single tab, and the first row has the main fields in it. So we're going to hit OK. And then you wait, and there it is. You see you have all your US information, your Florida information, year, number of records, measure of values. So what I'm going to do is, because year is common to all the other information, I'm going to move year up as a dimension, and we're going to start making our first table. Put year under columns, and we're going to do, let's do US population. See, it automatically starts a graph for you. And let's do population compared to violent crime. And you can see the two tables next to each other. That's fine, but I was hoping for something a little bit more interesting, so show them on top of each other. And then you can change them to line graphs just by right-clicking on the dot, mark type line. And now you've got your US population in blue versus violent crime total in orange. And if you want to change colors, just click edit color. The one you want to change, let's make violent crimes red for violent. Okay, and there you go. You've got your years across the bottom. If you wanted to flip it, all you'd have to do is right click and flip it. If you wanted to put your US violent crime on this side and population on this side, you could just flip it. And it's just a really fast, easy way to get your information from an Excel spreadsheet into a easy to see graph. Let's go ahead and make another. Let's name the sheet. Let's call this US population let's just do US violent crime. With population. Alright. Go ahead and go to the second sheet, and we'll do something similar. We'll go year, but now let's do Florida this time. We'll do population and violent crime total. Now these are all quick little shortcuts here. You can play with them, get whatever you want out of your graph, but I think I'm going to stick with the dual points, and I like the line graph. I think they show up the data really well. You can see I didn't actually click on a dot, so it's not giving me the option. So I'll actually click on the dot or click over here. I believe that works also. And we're going to do line again, and let's go ahead and edit the color again for Florida violent crime. And there you go. You have the same result for Florida now, whereas we had it for US wide over there. Let's go ahead and a shortcut and copy that. Florida. All right. now your second graph's already done. It's just that fast. Go ahead and make a third one. We'll make this one a little bit different. We'll keep years the same, but let's compare murder. Let's go for murder in the United States versus murder in Florida. There again, you can see your two bar graphs from 1960 all the way up to 2010. They're obviously different scales, but once we combine them, we'll average them out so that they fall within the same scale. Make them line graphs again. And if you want to make them any other color, again, it's real easy. Edit color. Make Florida green this time. Doesn't really show up that well, so I think we'll keep it orange. And there you have your third table already, that fast. I'll name this one US versus Florida murder. Now, these graphs are great and everything, but it would be really convenient if you could see them all at the same time and have that information all in one place. So we're going to go New Dashboard, and then these are our three tables we already made up. So we just drag and drop them on here. See, there's our first table. There's our second table. Just move it around, you can see the cloud where it's going to drop it. I kind of want it to go all across the bottom. It's not really doing it, so let's see if we can get it to work. Okay, there we go. Now we've got the second one and the third one. Let's bring the first one back in. There we go. Alright, so now you have U.S. violent crime with population, Florida violent crime with population, and U.S. versus Florida murder. Now you can see it only brought in the measurables for the first one, so do this analysis. Click on the one you want, analysis, legends, color legend, and now just added it in for our second graph. Click on the third one, analysis, legends, color legend. Now you got it for your third graph. You can rename this one US U.S. Florida violent crime and murder. Now you have all your information in one spot. You're able to take a relatively huge amount of data and combine it into three different graphs, and bring those three different graphs into one sheet, and now you can upload this to the web and hover over any point on any graph and get the actual data point, and you're able to see a whole lot of information at a glance and make a really nice, functional, useful presentation of any relative number of sets of data. As you can see, we have a bit of a trend here going with population growth and crime, and violent crime, both in Florida and national. Looks like it spiked in the early 90s here. Now it's back down quite low comparative to where it was. Similar with murders. Early 90s seemed to spike in national murders. Now we're